Hi guys, I am back. Sanbonani, Ninjani, like everything, just like everything, guys. Welcome back. If you're a subscriber, welcome. If you're new, my name is Ngosi. Ngosi. Likamalam Ngosi, and this is my YouTube channel. Before we begin, PSA, public service announcement. I think that's what it stands for, ne? I think so. On this channel, because the girl here is a master of language, the master of a language, Ndimlo, yes, Yimlo. I want to incorporate my home language into the speech that I'm going to be using. So, since Kuluma is Zulu, Bua some Bedi. Is it Bedi or Soto? I don't know. I'm bad. These two are like dialects of one another. Anyways, just like a few words here. And I'm not fluent in that language at all. At all. Amanga Mavi. But I live in PTA in Pretoria, so I have picked up some words, and it's gonna be a ball. You guys watching me attempt to do this. But I can speak Ndebele and Zulu very well, so and I'm gonna put like subtitles for everyone to understand, so we're all on the same page, ne? Because it's my mother tongue. If you don't use it, you lose it, and I think it's time I start using it more. And I talk with my family using this language, so now I want to do it even more. Yeah. So just that announcement, just for everyone to know. Yes. Now on to just like what I wanted to talk about. As I said, I'm not that great at writing down my emotions, so this for me is just a great way to let loose and let out, and just like there's a message I think to be said in all the past events that have happened. Also, yes, I'm sporting a wig. It's a new look. She knew. I don't exactly like her. Like I was trying to like thin out the bangs, but you need like a special scissors for that. So until then, this is she and this is her, and let's give her some love. Yay! Thanks. So basically, since my birthday, just I was very excited, and then life just like had other plans, as always. In essence, like a family member has passed on, and that like she was the matriarch, umuntu or petimuli, like igloo behind everyone in this family, the matriarch, the boss of bosses of bosses of bosses, do you know what I mean? Like her. And that's my grandmother. Lovely lady, like amazing. Yeah, she has passed on, sehambile. And yeah, it's been difficult, and just like with grief, today's a particularly good day for me. It's a process, so grief is a process. The event really is just a funeral, but everything, the emotions and everything that comes with it, the before and the after and the having to live with it, that's like all the process, and I'm currently undergoing that. And death just changes you, changes a lot. So I consider me a different person. Yeah, we're yet to figure out if it's in a good or bad way, but it's just different. It's just change. Yeah, so that's what happened, really, in essence. And it was due to like she had coronavirus, right? COVID, but like the cause of death came from a secondary infection, which is actually, when you read on it, like a lot of the ways that a lot of people die. Right? Yeah, I'm being so nonchalant in Kulmangalok, but enhlizweni yami is, yeah, it's sore. But I just don't want to cry on camera. I've never wanted to cry on camera, so I'm not gonna start now. Yeah. So yeah, that's what happened. And so yeah, kinda my thoughts are just like in a fuzz. What can I say? She was such like a church going lady. Guri yatandaza, like prayer warriors. So I am personally was held together by the prayers of that woman as well as my mom. My mom maybe not so much as my granny, but like definitely my grandmother. Her prayers just like kept us all intact. And we don't even know how. I wouldn't like point to a specific event and be able to say because of this prayer, this was the result. But I just know it, like all her good intentions and all her thoughts for us as the family really went towards something, and they just like evolved and could have manifested in the good things that I have in my life. And that's not to say now that she's physically not here, that's going to be different. I'm really just a firm believer, like what we buried is just her physical body, but her spirit lives on. And especially knowing that we're blood related, she literally lives on within me. And I have so many stories actually, because it was like during the very formative years of my life. When I got my first period, it was at her house, and she was the one to tell me, so umfazi now, like yempela, yempela, umfazi, like you're a woman, like yo. She was so proud of me. Meanwhile, I was just freaking out. I was like, I just went to the toilet and I'm bleeding. Although, of course, we always learned about it, but like the moment that they came, panic, just like sheer panic. But she was really like there for me, and it's just like all the advice that she's given me. But even in those last days before I was with her, dude, so like, I don't know, when I said goodbye, it didn't feel like it was the final goodbye. I don't know if it ever does. I've always thought, Uri, like, something in you would know that when you're saying goodbye to someone, like a voice in the back of your head might be there to say, oh, just like say this goodbye like you mean, and you wouldn't even know why. So I guess I did kind of have that voice, but like, it was so small, like it didn't feel significant. But looking back on it now, definitely I can say, Uri, that was a moment that we shared. And she's not even a big hugger. Imagine Ukoko was like a traditional lady, kind of like that generation. Affection in this family is not it's in actions and the things that you do, not necessarily being affectionate in terms of hugging and just like kisses and things like that. We don't necessarily do that. We do, my parents and I do, because I've like, how come you don't hug me? Why am I gonna hug you? But from her, it was really going to take a long time to learn to pick up that behavior type of thing. So I'm sorry if you see me like talking about her with a smile. It's just because there's so many happy memories, so much to be unpacked, which we don't have time for. Or at least like, I still want to talk about her here because she's just that important. So I hope you guys can see it on my face, Guri. I really have so much love. Not even had, I have. And where was it? I read this quote. It's somewhere in Joburg CBD. Imagine, it's those street arts. Someone's like, it's like you never truly die. Like no one is ever truly dead. Like you may die physically, physically gone. Oh, forgive me. That's just how I express death. Yeah, ne? You're gone. Kaput, finished. But you're never really truly gone as long as there are people who still remember you, the memory of you. As long as people still talk about your name and talk about you, then you're never really truly gone. And so that's how I think about it. Talking about her, she's never really truly gone. She's just like in a different part, like a part where I can't physically touch and things like that. And this is non-religious, by the way, not necessarily. She was a religious lady, but personally, I've changed. I really am in a process of reviewing taught religion, like organized religion. But there's, the core principles and morals that I learned from Christianity and just going to Sunday school, which, was heavily influenced by Ugogo. I still, like, always, my mind will always link things like that to that. If you can understand a bit of what I'm saying here. I hope it's not sounding too abstract, but basically that type of chat. Yeah. Kinda, but I had it. Nah. And just like some funny things. When we were coming back, clearly I must have been infected, right? But like you do the rapid test, and I don't know if you guys have been hearing about it, but clearly it's not very accurate, because doing that test I was negative, only for a few days later, like 4 days down the line, to realize that I'm positive. When you do the PCR one, like, which is the proper jabbing your nose in, the first time we went, I went for the throat swab, and I had a very intimate experience with my tester. What can I say? I mean, it was intimate for me. I can't necessarily speak for the gent. I don't know how he felt, but I know what I felt. I mean, the man really just like, he shoved it down my throat, man. And he made me gag. And then, like, we locked eyes. And, yeah. It was such a brief moment, but I swear, so much was said. So much was said. But my mom was right there, so, you know. But it's not like I would have actually wanted that to develop into anything, but it was so intimate, guys. It was so intimate. I don't even know how to explain, but yeah, it was intimate. Yeah, you can tell the stage of my love life at this point. Kana, you can just tell ngoba if kana lokho excited, if just like into nje in cause so much joy, ingijabulisa kanje ukuthi ngithokoze kanjani wabo single as a Pringle. Not ready to mingle. Okay, so yeah. That's what happened. That's what's up. That's what's up. And having COVID is just miserable. I can't lie. If I didn't know I had COVID and I just thought it was a flu, maybe it wasn't so bad. Because mine was mild. I don't know, because I'm younger or whatever, or better immune system. I don't know. I can't tell you the scientific reason for why, because some people just have it worse, or some people just don't have it at all, or some people are, just are asymptomatic, while some people don't even get infected even though you've been like in the same spaces. Just like so many exceptions, but I kind of went with the average Joe. Yeah. So mind over body, mind over matter, as cliche as it does sound, it does help, because it helps you get through the treatment. There were times, guys, over here we steam, okay? Kinda you put your Vicks, and this time I was using tea tree oil because my dad just didn't buy eucalyptus oil. Also, it was my dad taking care of me because my mom had to stay behind. So let's just go with it. So at that point, he bought the tea tree oil and the Vicks, right? And so you just put that in any dish, or it can be a bucket. And you put the Vicks, you just like take a whole dollop of it and just like smear it, and then you put drops of whatever oil. Or you can also just use just Vicks, but because it's COVID, we went hard. At that point, I could still smell, I could still taste like a bit. Né? So you steam, and you pour boiling water, and you have to like with a blanket, and then you inhale the goodness of the Vicks. Né? You inhale for your life. Essentially, that's what I was doing, inhaling for my life. So that's what I was doing. And at some point, because like my taste buds went, blocked nose came through. This was like flu, but like flu 3.0 is what it feels like to be on COVID. It's just that much worse. It's worse. It's worse. Okay? Worse. Horrible. The ghetto. Don't recommend it. 0 out of 10. Don't do that shit. Don't get caught up in it. Ew. So I couldn't taste. So I just had to steam with the belief these things are going to come back. It got so dark, guys. Mina nyasha. I love to eat. Nyasha. I stress eat. I eat when I'm sad. I eat when I'm happy. I eat just to eat. So I was sad, but I couldn't eat because the things I want to eat are not good for me. And the things I like, I can't taste. It is just a sad phenomenon. Said nje ngiyadanisa, period, point blank, ukuba nayo. So that's exactly what it was. So that's just to explain the point of mind over body, mind over matter. You just gotta be consistent with it, even though like things are in a dark phase and it looks like you don't know if your taste gonna come back, if things are gonna pull through. In the middle of the pits, I'm just like, who am I if I can't taste? Who am I to be or not to be without food? I cannot be. It's difficult. Nah. So that's just the truth of the matter. So mind over body, okay? And so for me, which is why personal affliction as well added, that's why I see it as important, guys, to vaccinate. It really literally is the only way. It's the only way. But do you know what? I still believe in choice, ne? But a choice yako, you must be prepared uhlala and to live nama consequences. Ngoba you can't expect to still be roaming around freely, infecting others, and potentially when you're infected as well, possibly dying, because you don't know how it's gonna affect you, okay? But for you, in order to just like not care, because this thing, as much as the vaccine is about protecting yourself, it's also about protecting those around you, guys. I don't know. I don't want us to live in a society which it must happen to you. You must lose a family member in order for you to see the importance of and the dangers of COVID. Like, why must you live like that? Like, why must you live ngokubona? Like, you know, ubona uthi hayi laphana kubi, in order for you to decide uthi no, lokhu kubi. Do you know what I mean? Like, why can't you just like see that this is a solution? And I get that it was made real quickly. But what's the year? What's the century? Is it not the 21st century? Is the year not 2021? And have vaccines not been an old technology? But so many years of doing vaccines, have technologies not advanced? So instead of celebrating the advancement of technology, it's a lot of backwardness into suspicions and conspiracies of Uri. Oh my god, this thing is so bad, it's so suspicious. I mean, origins of COVID aside and all the funny stories, all the conspiracies, the thing is, this really is the only way to help us all go back or live a new normal, because this disease is not going anywhere. Kind of, you see these mutations. It's like a flu. Like, people always have every single year to take a flu jab, because every single year there's a different strain. You know, if you're the person who kept up with your flu vaccine. I personally didn't. I did it like for 2 years, and in those 2 years I didn't have flu. Or like I did have it once, and like that, with that vaccine, the flu just like, it was just like nothing. And the flu, I mean like the common cold. Sorry, I like misuse the two terms. I know it's different, but I interchangeably use those terms. As case, my bad. But as long as you understand, when I say flu, I just mean common cold. So this thing is really gonna be there for life. I don't know, for life. I don't want to predict such doom glory. But actually, angazi if it's gonna be there for life. But it's definitely gonna be here for the next 5 years or 3 years. But the immediate futures, ne, ikona, ayindawo. So, and also just to think about it, ne, if you choose ukungabi vaccine to be unvaccinated, and you are surrounded by people who are vaccinated, and because a vaccine doesn't stop you from catching the disease, it just means when you get it, you're not going to be so horrible, you're not going to need to go to the hospital. Okay, so you're surrounded by people who are vaccinated and they catch COVID, and then obviously you guys are interacting, it somehow gets to you, right? Don't you see the dangers in that? In that scenario, don't you see the dangers of your own life? Don't you see that? Like, there's just no way you can be unvaccinated and want to be out and about freely. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, and also think that you're not causing a hazard towards the people that are around you, let alone yourself. Because the problem is, right now, the chat with those who are unvaccinated, they're spreading rhetoric to the people that are around them, their families, who are also mostly at risk of, you know, anything bad happening. Because when you catch COVID and you're living in a community, it's basically the community catches COVID. So I want us to just like change the thinking around this, and like, so what if this thing, okay, and then so what again if this vaccine is funny, is junky? Why do you want to live in the world where, so many people are getting this vaccine and say we all die? You want to live in the world without so many people? Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Actually, don't even answer that. That's actually such a dumb question. I know I would do so much. If like the Thanos thing happened and boom, half the population is not there, I would do so much. Illegal things I can't mention. I don't want to be liable. I don't want this thing to be brought up in a court one day and they were like, you said you'd always do this, and I'm there like, I'm just there. So let's not do that. Let me jump out of that perspective, that rhetoric. Screw, back up. Let's go back to the point. So I just want us to change our thinking around this thing and actually think about the reality and the world and the possible direction that we're all going if we do and if we do not. And you will see, you will come to the conclusion that I also have come to. If we do, and by if we do, I'm saying if we vaccinate, it looks better. It just looks much better than if we all choose not to. Do you know what I mean? Are you catching my drift? Are you following me? Are we following? Are we going together? A, B, C, D. Huh? Yeah, ne? So that's me, Nje. And just the things I've been thinking about. Yeah. Ne? So life has changed. No, it has definitely changed. And I just wanted to like talk about that on this channel because it's good to acknowledge it. I need to acknowledge these feelings. I need to acknowledge these thoughts for sanity's sake and just for sake of just like being real and honest with myself and honest, because you owe it to yourself, guys. You owe it to yourself to be honest with yourself, to be honest with how you feel and how you think about certain things. Just like that conversation with yourself needs to be had, although I'm having this conversation with you guys. So let's have this conversation in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, so that's it. And just, back to the matter at hand, the key person who started all of this. Gogo, I'll miss you, girl. I'll miss you. But I know you around, you got me, you watching over me. But now when we talk about Ingilosi, talk about angels, we talk about spirit guides, we talk about ancestors, you're one of them. I can attach a face to that, I can relate to that, and I can feel the love from that, and I can feel safe from that, so I can draw on from that. And so for anyone who's also lost a member, one, I understand, and every day is a new day, and grief is a process, a long one, but it's a process, and some days you wake up feeling better than others and you take it as it comes. There's really no other better way. I know it's so cheesy, but like these things really are just like that. All the cheesy cliche things that can be said at this very present moment apply, because at the end of the day that was very, very true advice that those people gave. I don't know who to quote because I just heard it so much. I don't know who actually was the originator of these words, but yeah, it's a process and we're all just like dealing with it. And just always take a moment to yourself, guys. You can get overwhelmed with the way things are going, with the news, with everything. Just always take a moment to yourself and just like breathe and be intentional and just be grateful for what you have and just live to see, to make things happen for the things that you don't have so you can acquire them. Yeah, and just live with intention, guys, and move with kindness. That's just my message of the day, and that's just all I wanted to say. And thank you so much for watching this far. Yeah, guys, stay safe, stay everything happy, and thank you so much for staying with me, even though I'm not that consistent of a YouTuber. Yeah, I feel no pressures, no lies. I'm not getting paid for this gig, and so I'm here to enjoy it and just dish out quality when I can. Of which I wanted to get a camera, but like those, I've like highlighted the ones that I wanted, the quality and everything, like the research and stuff like that, of like what's best for vlogging and YouTubing and, you know, cost effective, blah 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 blah, all those things, and none of them are under 10k. It's like 10k and above, and I want an iPad rather for my school, because I feel like it's going to be so much better working with an iPad than just a laptop. So I want an iPad. And priorities, my guys, in this household you can only ask for one thing, one big thing, of which you ask and you must wait some months before you ask for something else again, or maybe a special occasion to ask again for something. So priorities, you gotta pick your battles. Always pick your battles and pick your fights, the ones that you can win. Okay, may the odds be in your favor as you do these things. Tips, guys, tips, if you didn't know, tips for your life. You're welcome. You're welcome. So just to end this again on another ending, because I'm like that person, I'm like my mom, she says bye and like they start another conversation. You get the gist. So just to end it officially, thanks for watching, and until the next video, bye.